Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I am super excited because I just got this new palette in the mail. This is the Winnie the Pooh Happy Halloween palette. This is from Hot Topic. I like to go on Hot Topic's website every so often just to see what kind of new palettes that they have and if there are any that catch my eye. And this one definitely did. I think it is so cute. So today I just wanted to test out the quality of it and do some swatches and a look for you all today and just see if this palette is any good and worth the money. So originally this retails for $16.90, but I did get it on sale. It was around 13 or 14 bucks on sale is what I paid for it. So that's about the pricing. That's kind of the pricing for all their palettes too, I feel like. So I just wanted to, like I said, test this out today and see how I feel about the quality of it. So the packaging of this, first off, is super cute. I'm loving the Halloween vibes. I'm so ready for fall. It's my favorite season. So I just fell in love with this palette. And then here is what the inside looks like. These pan sizes are huge. Like, here's my fingers compared to one of the pans. Like, I can fit 3 of my fingers in a pan. They're a lot bigger than I was expecting. And then it does have 12 shades as well. So I'm going to start with some swatches of these shades and then we will get into the look. So the first shade up here is Winnie the Pooh. That looks really pretty. Okay, so far not too bad. That was just one little dip in the pan and it actually swatched out pretty nicely. So the next shade up we have is Tigger. This is a bit of a lighter color, so we'll see how well it actually shows up. You can see it a little bit. Not bad. Next shade is Piglet. This one looked so pretty in the pan. And these shimmers are actually swatching out really nicely. So that makes me really excited. Next up is Honeybee. Once again, very shimmery, very pretty. Then we have Ghost. The mattes definitely take a little bit more building up in the swatches, but they can get to a pretty good pigmentation. The next shade up is Witch. I've been really into green eyeshadow lately, so I'm really excited to play around with those ones. Then we have Costume. So each of the mattes seem to be taking 2 dips into the pan, but once you do that, they actually look really nice. So I am very optimistic. Next up is Pumpkins. This is a little bit of a brighter orange shade than Ghost was. Next shade up is Trick or Treat. Then we have Candy. These shimmers are looking really nice. Next up is Spooky. And finally, another shade I was super excited for is Halloween. That one looks stunning. So here are all of the shades swatched out. I am really quite impressed with how the swatches turned out, and I'm super excited to get some of these shades on my eyes and test out how they perform blending together and all of that good stuff. So if that is something that interests you, then be sure to keep on watching. Alright, the first shade I want to take for this look is Tigger right here. And this one is just going to start right in my crease, how I start off most of my looks. And this is the one that swatched really lightly, so I want to see if I can get it to build up. You can see it a little bit in the crease there. And I am using this on a bit of a fluffier brush. This is the JH33 from Morphe. So with using a fluffier brush, it's not going to pack down the pigment as much. So that is going to be another reason it's going to be lighter. But you can see it showing up, so I am pretty happy with how it is looking so far. And I'm just going to continue to try and build up a little more pigment and continue just to blend it through the crease. The next shade I want to take is Ghost. And this one is a bit of a more orangey tone shade. And I'm still using this one on a pretty fluffy brush. And just kind of following the same shape as the previous shade, just slightly lower in the crease. And at the outer corner, I do want to just kind of flick this shade out a little bit, just so we get a nice blown out look. And I am pretty happy with how these shades are blending together. I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of Tigger just to blend out the edges. But these shades seem to be performing pretty nicely. In my experience, like watching other people review Hot Topic palettes, their shades are usually pretty hit or miss. And I will have to say that these ones do seem quite nice. Alright, then on a slightly smaller fluffy brush, we're going to take the shade Costume. And once again, just continue to deepen up the crease. And with this shade, I'm also going to start focusing it in the outer corner. And then bring product through the rest of the crease. And the pigment on these seems to be really nice. They look to be blending pretty nicely with each other. I am going to go back over the crease with the previous shades, but I usually do that with any palette I use just to make sure the blend is nice and seamless. I just go back in with the previous shades. Alright, our next crease color is going to be Trick or Treat, and this one is the deepest one in the palette. And I'm going to start right on the outer corner with the shade, bringing it in slightly. And this is a bit more of a denser brush and really small because I want as much pigment payoff with this one as possible. And it does seem to be building up nicely. I do wish there was maybe even a deeper brown to go in this palette, or that this one was a little deeper, just because I feel like it looks good, but I feel like just a touch richer and deeper would look really good. But overall, I am pretty happy with what this shade looks like and with what all of these shades look like blended together. Alright, now for the fun pop of color, we are going to take Halloween, and I'm going to try this on a dry brush to start, just because I want to see what the true pigment of this is with just a brush. I'm going to start packing this down on the open space on my lid. Not bad pigmentation, but I feel like with the swatch that I got from it, the shade is going to be super pretty if I use my finger. But I just want to get the base laid down with a brush, and then I'll tap back over it with my finger. But this shade is super pretty. Alright, let's go in with the finger. The shade is so pretty. I'm loving it. I did get a little bit on my lower lash line, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm really liking this. So I'm just going to go back in with a little bit of the darker browns and kind of just go over where these edges meet and just kind of tap over them to make sure it's blended. Like so. Alright, now onto the lower lash line. I'm going to basically be doing the reverse steps that I did for the crease. So starting with Trick or Treat, I'm running this super close to my lash line, and then I'm going to blend it out with Costume, Ghost, and then Tigger, just so we can get a nice blended look and copy what we did in the crease. Alright, for the inner corner, I want to try Piglet and see if this shade is light enough, because this is a shade that I was really excited for in this palette. It's a beautiful kind of champagne-y gold, and it looked really pretty. I'm going to bring it just ever so slightly onto the lid to blend with the green shade too. And that looks pretty good. I am just going to tap over it with a little bit of Winnie the Pooh, just because this is the bright white, and I want this to be a nice bright inner corner shade. Like so. So this is the final look. I'm going to go add mascara, and I will be back with some final thoughts. Alright, so here is the final look with my Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extension Mascara. My favorite mascara, of course. And here is what the look turned out to look like. I am so happy with how this one turned out. I am very pleasantly surprised with the performance of these shades. Like I said, I've heard Hot Topic palettes can be very hit or miss, and some of them just aren't very good. But this one is definitely worth it in my opinion. I seriously think these shades performed so nicely, and I'm loving the green on the lid. I think it's so pretty, and it makes me so excited to continue to use this palette. I was super drawn to the theme of this palette to start. I love Winnie the Pooh, and all the fall tones that are in this palette just really caught my eye. and I'm so happy I decided to pick it up. Let me know what you all think of this look down below, what you think of this palette. And I'm thinking I might want to do another look with this palette in this video. I really want to test out some of these matte green shades in here and see how those perform. So stay tuned because I'm thinking I'm going to do another look right after this one. So we can just jump right into that, but be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this first look, and we can just get right into this next one. Alright, on to the second look. I am once again going to start with the shade Tigger. And with this shade, I'm going to start right in the inner portion of my lid and blend it up right into the inner portion of my crease. And I'm starting with trying to pack this shade down more. And then we will start blending up into the crease. And like I said, I want this look to test out some of the matte greens in this palette. So I'm really excited to see how those ones perform. But I wanted to get this first shade down just as a little base inner corner shade. And the shade seems to be building up pretty nicely, which makes me happy. So once I get more towards the top of this, I'm going to start actually blending it out and just kind of go back and forth between the patting motions and the blending. And I just want this to stick right in the inner portion of my eye. And once I have a little less product, I'll bring it over a little bit just so it's easier to blend with the next shade. But the bulk of the shade is going to go right in this inner portion. Alright, then the next shade I want to take is Spooky. And this is the lighter matte green shade. And I'm just going to start, once again, packing this one on my lid. And then blending up. Kind of the same thing I did with the first shade. Kind of hard for me to tell right now how this one is performing. The color seems to be building up pretty nicely, but I'm curious to see how it will blend with the yellow. So once I have kind of a base of that packed down, I'm going to take a little bit more of Tigger and just right over the edges, start doing little back and forth motions to start blending these together. And I'm going to go back and forth between the shade and the green just so we can get a good little blend between the two. And of course bringing this right up into the crease as well. So just continue to go back and forth between these two and try and get a nice little blend. Then the next shade I want to take is Witch, and this is on a little bit of a angled fluffy brush. And I want to start right in the outer portion of my lid and just wing this out slightly before I start packing it and blending it. I just want to get that nice shape. Then I'm going to start bringing this onto the lid, like so. And once again, just really work on building up the shade and deepening this outer corner. So right now I feel like there's not much difference in depth between the two green shades. So I really want to just work on building this shade up. Making sure you can see the difference. And as always, I'm going to go back and forth between the two shades to make sure we get a nice blend. Alright, I hope you can see the ombre from the yellow to the darkest green. I feel like these two green shades look somewhat similar, but I feel like more towards the yellow you can at least see a little bit of a lighter green. The next shade I want to take is Candy right here, and this is on just a flat little packing brush, or flat little line brush. And I want to run this right along my lower lash line just to add in some shimmer, since the whole top of this look is very matte. I feel like the shade isn't packing down as well as I would like it to, but maybe it's not too bad. Alright, then the final shade I want to take is Winnie the Pooh, and this of course is just going to go right in my inner corner. The shade seems to take a little bit of building. I will say when I swatched this one, it was a little bit drier, so maybe that's why. I want to drag this slightly onto the lower lash line as well. And that will finish off this look. I'm going to go add mascara and I will be right back. Alright, so here is the final look. I am quite happy with how this one turned out. I feel like the greens performed pretty well actually. I was a little worried the center shade, the lighter green, seemed a little bit patchy to start, but I think it built up and blended out pretty nicely, so I'm quite pleased with that. I am continuing to love this palette. I think it is so good, and I'm so happy I picked it up. Let me know if you would like to see some more looks with this palette or what else you might like to see from me on my channel. Let me know which of these two looks you liked better, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and also don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. And with that, I will see you all in my next video. Bye!